Jason Nash wins the show. Yeah. All right, guys. Jason Nash won the vote. We're going to talk about it real quick. Here's what I know about Jason Nash, my understanding. This guy worked for David Dobrik, and now he begs for money on TikTok Lives. And I see him on my TikTok Lives, and he was losing to Spider-Man in some kind of a battle. For donation battle, I think. I don't understand how TikTok Live works, but I think he's 50. How old is Jason Nash? I think he's 50. He's 50. And he's been doing content for years, and so I guess he doesn't know what else to do. And I guess that kind of sucks, man. Let's get this going.
Who, if you're not familiar with...
start over.
All right, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about Jason Nash.
That's how I start my videos.
Who, if you're not familiar with, at one point, he was a successful YouTuber, and he featured in a lot of David Dobrik's vlogs.
Is this when he was successful? Because he looks 50 in this picture. Yeah, he dated Trisha Paytas. So good for them as well, I guess, together. It's cool.
That would get tens of millions of views.
Whoa.
He had a good thing going for a while, but that all kind of fell apart the past few years. And now Jason is basically a TikTok.
Doesn't he have a podcast? Doesn't he have a podcast? Why doesn't he just focus on his podcast?
TikTok panhandler. I think that's the best way to describe it. That's what he's up to now. And
is he making money from it? Because I guess good for him, but I feel like there's no long-term solution to that.
No idea that was even a thing until he started doing it. So I'll give it to him. He's getting...
Yeah, I mean, the NPC trend showed us that you can make a lot of money doing that. So I guess good for them.
Creative, and he's still out here hustling. But to be 50 years old doing this every day, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not that hard to do. It's more of just it wears on your soul, right? It makes you kind of look immature when you're just begging for money on there. But hey, you know what? At least he's doing better than Boogie, who does nothing, who does absolutely nothing. So, there's your positive.
I mean, literally, I don't know what's going on in this video.
Guys, are you seeing this? Everybody shout out Mike in the chat. Mike with the galley! Uh-oh. Another galley!
Wow. Incredible.
Chris Crock is here. Go, Chris. Couldn't reach target. It's fine, Mike. Holy shit.
Damn, this is just sad. Sad stuff, brother.
I don't have a six-pack anymore, Dylan Lucas. I'm big as hell.
Yeah, so I'm not totally sure what's going on here, but you could tell whatever it is, it's not good. I mean, if you're relying on people sending you galaxies on TikTok...
I think galaxies give you a lot of money, no? How much is a galaxy? Isn't it like $500?
TikTok Live to be able to pay your mortgage as an adult with 2 kids, I'd say it's not going too great, but if that's what he wants to do with his life, whatever. I just think it's crazy how far...
The Galaxy gift on TikTok costs 1,000 TikTok coins, which is roughly equivalent to $13 to $15. Oh. I don't know who said there was $500. Who would say that? What kind of idiot would think that? I guess this is the same as Twitch streaming, except you don't beg as explicitly,
Or he's fallen. At one point, he's probably making, I'd say, at least $1 million a year, and he's in some of the most
is that true or
popular YouTube videos.
I think my understanding is he's still getting residuals from like a Drake and Josh episodes or something.
And now he's relying on TikTok Live to keep him afloat, and he's just barely scraping by. Meanwhile, David Dobrik, who Jason used to do a podcast with and who Jason provided a lot of content for, is out there living the life. He has a $10 million house. He's making over $10 million a year just doing Snapchat, just posting pictures of him flying on private jets, going to nice
How the fuck do you make money on Snapchat?
Restaurants, traveling. I mean, he's getting paid a ton of money just for living his life, basically. So he cashed in big time, but his good friend Jason, not so much. He has to spend 8 hours a day doing these TikTok live shows just to keep a roof over his head.
He has something to celebrate because he's made it.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
I think people don't like David Dobrik. I don't really understand too much of it. I know that he's just kind of an asshole that is unsafe when it came to his old pranks, and I don't really know too much more than that.
I can't put myself in that mindset.
He calls me to play pool, and I'm like, I gotta go live, and I don't expect him to understand that. I know I've told.
My thing is that he's been around long enough. And listen, I don't know. Maybe he's doing more, but Jason has been around long enough to know that begging for money on TikTok Live is not sustainable, right? You can criticize me all you want. I've had a decent level of like sustainability for a while doing what I'm doing. I feel like this is more sustainable. I'm not begging for money. I engage, like I react to videos, like good for me. So why doesn't he do something else that has some sustainability that he could use his platform for? I mean, I don't know if he would want to stream on Twitch or whatever, or YouTube, but something, make a podcast, do something that you could do something with. I don't know.
Told him. There's also things that I like say to him, and I'm not sure if he hears me. Like I'll say things like, "I'm losing my house," and he'll be like, "Oh, but just come play pool."
Why don't you go find it, bro?
It's crazy that David doesn't really care, but also, you know, it's not his responsibility. Like, Jason should have been more,
Yeah, I don't know how much of that's true. Jason might just be a little bit of a crybaby about it. He might be feeling resentful, so I don't
more
know.
prepared for this. You know, once the whole Vlog Squad thing ended and David stopped doing his normal videos, it sounds like Jason didn't know what the hell to do, which is crazy because he has over 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and he was a huge part of David's vlogs, which were getting...
Damn, does he still post stuff on his YouTube? Or no? I mean, here's my thing, Jason. Like, he has a decent TikTok following. Oh, does he have a podcast? Is that what this is? Shut the fuck up. I guess he has his podcast, and then he posts videos of it. I guess he just talks to people on his podcast. And then he posts clips of it on TikTok. But you can make a good amount of money from clips on TikTok. So I feel like yeah, I mean, I feel like that might be your best bet, is to try to push him harder into TikTok, like those minute plus formats. But okay.
Over 20 million views a video, and he has a lot of connections. He knows a lot of famous people. He can get some big names on his podcast, but it's not doing much for him.
Wow, he got Danny DeVito and Dane Cook, and he didn't do particularly well. I mean, like 55K views is a lot of views, but also like for a podcast Danny DeVito was on, it feels like underwhelming.
And without David, people just don't
Dane Cook was 38K.
seem to care. And in David's vlogs, Jason used to joke about like what he'd do without David, and I guess he wasn't lying because he is completely lost without him. And what's even funnier about this is they used to have a podcast together, and David got a giant offer to continue it. I think it was $10 million a year just to do a podcast a week for like 40 minutes maybe. And he ended up turning it down. And obviously Jason, he could have really used this money.
Just a little amount of time.
Yeah.
I missed the podcast. I missed the money of the podcast.
I see Jason say this on a TikTok clip like
How much money did Jason Nash make that he like burned through it all?
every other week.
What do I do?
He turned down $10 million deal.
That's why I don't bring it up or whatever.
It is a crazy concept because you give that concept to anybody else and they're like, what?
Well, maybe he would have made more money doing something else.
You wouldn't do that for $10 million?
Yeah. Oh my God.
All you have to do is literally...
Probably not a good thing that he's going on to whoever else's podcast, or maybe this is his own and just complaining about the only person that apparently ever made him successful. Probably doesn't help him in the long term.
Really go from your bedroom to your downstairs pantry and talk for 40 minutes for $10 million, and everyone loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is brutal. You know, Jason probably would have made more money during one 40-minute podcast than he would have his whole year of TikToking. Like, I can't imagine
Probably. Does anybody know how much he actually makes?
he's making much doing these streams. You could just tell he is desperate. Like, he is down bad, and that's why this is so crazy, and everybody keeps talking about it because everybody knows this is not something he wants to be doing, which he did pretty much admit. Like you said, if he wasn't in such a bad spot financially, he probably wouldn't be doing this.
Look, would I be on TikTok Live if I wasn't in like a financial hole? I don't know. Probably not. But also, like, YouTube wasn't really working, and I needed to find something.
Yeah.
And so it was like, all right. TikTok came to me. They were like, we'll help you. And I was like,
Oh, that's good.
I was like, okay. And so
What does that mean? They came to you and said that we'll help you. I mean, I guess they feel like he could be a very financially positive thing for them. Okay.
yeah, and it's just like It is what it is.
And I was wondering how he got into it, like why he decided to do TikTok Live. It seems pretty random, but I guess somebody from TikTok reached out to him and said, "We'll help you." Like they knew he was struggling and getting desperate. So
I don't think that. I mean, maybe that was the implication, but I don't think that that's actually what happened. I think they said, "Hey, we'll help you," as in like, "Oh, Jason Nash is somebody who's pulled some numbers before. Let's see if we can like help him out getting his live going, so that we could cash in." I don't think that TikTok felt bad for him, but
they're like, "All right, you want to come do these live shows where you can beg for money?" And I guess that was his only option. Except at that point, I'd say it's probably just better to get a regular job for a while or something, because it's not like this is gonna help his career at all. Like he's making money from it. But that's pretty much it.
Well, yeah, there's no long term, like he doesn't generate a level of respect for this. He's got to figure out what to do. Something that he needs to do. Getting a real job might be beneficial. There's people who stream at their real jobs sometimes. I don't know. You could always do that. Fuck what I get. Or they make content out of their jobs. I don't know. Like, whatever.
He's not going to gain a fan base with this. He's not going to go anywhere with it.
No, he's just going to like hemorrhage a fan base.
I don't think he enjoys it too much. So
from what I see on his TikTok, he's like posting clips from this conversation. I'm probably trying to monetize it to make like a little bit of extra money. Jason also owns a really nice house in LA, so he must be desperate. So sell your fucking house and go live somewhere else. I mean, it's not like you need your LA connections anyway. Like, sell your house.
So it's just hard to believe that's even worth it for him. And now there's so many videos.
It sounds more like he's trying to maintain a lifestyle he can't afford. Sell your house and move somewhere that's cheaper, man. Like I hate to say it, but I don't. You're a rich person. You're not some poor person who has no options. You're a rich person that has like a really nice house. You can't afford it. And if you're able to afford it, that means like, that you are living like that you are making too much money. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like you're just begging on TikTok and you're making enough money to live in a mansion or whatever, or a really nice house in LA. Sell your fucking house, man.
About this, and so many people are goofing on him.
I mean, I'm sure that there's some kind of an ego aspect of it, too. But still, I mean, sell your fucking house.
For it, but he just doesn't seem to care. Like he was talking about one of his live streams during a podcast, and everybody else you could tell is just like, this is crazy. But I think he just accepts, you know what, this is my job now.
And so then I go, Lance, you got a glove? Oh, and a glove means it's times 5 the points. So if you have a glove, it's times 5 the point.
Right, of course.
So I go, is your girl gonna drop the glove? And so, okay, well, tell your mom to drop it at doubles or at this time,
Yeah.
So then the time comes during the match, and the mom doesn't.
I feel like I'm a parent listening to my kid.
Do you have a degree?
Tell me what the internet is.
So
I have
so
no
the guy
idea
goes,
what you're talking about.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
So then the guy goes, so the time comes to drop the glove, and I'm like, Lance, I'm like, where's the glove? Where's the fucking glove?
Yeah, so it's bad.
It's like a little kid trying to explain his special interest to his parents, and the parents are like, "Oh, okay."
And when you're talking to people half your age about TikTok and they have no clue what you're talking about,
Yep.
but this is what it's come to for Jason.
Tough, brother.
This is his life now, which is crazy because not too long ago he was entertaining tens of millions of people, doing wild shit every day, shooting these crazy vlogs, and he probably figured it was never gonna end. So he clearly wasn't prepared to do his own thing when he had to. And now his full-time job is begging people for money on TikTok Live. And recently he actually got his biggest donation yet from Ethan Klein.
Oh, somebody told me they wanted me to look up the clip. Wow, Ethan Klein.
And I think he sent Jason around $1,500, which is weird because just a couple years ago, Ethan was trying to cancel him. Like they had on this former member of the Vlog Squad to talk about how he was sexually assaulted by Jason because
Oh, yeah. I remember that whole controversy, yeah.
they did this prank on him where they told him there was going to be this girl under a mask and he'd make out with her, but it's really Jason under the mask.
Yeah. It's a dumb prank.
And when it first happened, he was fine with it. And he's like, yeah, you can upload the video. It's just a prank. It's cool. I'm fine with it.
And then people made fun of him for being gay, and so he wanted to be taken down.
But then as the years went on, I guess he started to realize that it was really a traumatic event.
It wasn't a traumatic event. From what I remember, it was more than anything else. Like he was fine with it, and then people started making fun of him in his hometown, and so he wanted to get rid of it. It's like whatever. Like you can say it's inappropriate, but it's not something that'll be like devastating.
And he went on H3's podcast to talk about how traumatizing it was. And of course, Ethan and Hila were sympathizing with him and they were saying it was terrible and Jason's a creep. But now they're donating thousands of dollars to him on TikTok Live. So I don't know what the hell happened here.
Yeah. Money gone, thank you! Big wireless company. Sierra.
You guys can't
Thank
see
you,
it.
Sierra.
Wait,
oh
what about?
my God, Ethan Klein, 26,000. Wow. A universe from Ethan Klein.
Wait, how much is 26,000?
Oh, wow. Ethan Klein, 8th Street. Thank you, Ethan. That's very, very nice.
Watch, I'm gonna send another one. He's gonna freak out.
Oh, wow.
I'm sending another one. Watch.
$15. That's nice. I don't know if it's a troll or if it's
No.
it comes in kindness. I'm not sure. Ethan again. Wow. Holy shit.
Another one.
I've never
Let's send
seen this
another
clip
one.
before.
I have 180,000
Holy
coins.
shit.
A third one.
Come on, let's go.
Hey
Let's go.
man, thank you for the galaxy. Ethan, I've never seen that gift before.
Yeah, because it's
Bravo!
insane. Who the fuck
Oh,
would
poor
spend?
Nana. She's getting robbed
I'm
by
seeing the
H3
one I bought
right
was
now.
$44.
I'm about to
Fuck
burst.
Oh
me.
my God, that fucking gift.
And people on H3 subreddit are like, did we forget about this? Like, don't you remember what happened? Don't you remember you had this guy on your podcast and talked about how awful Jason is? And it's funny because I'd say part of the reason why Jason's in this position.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know that Ethan can stay consistent when it comes to these things. I've seen him like, virtue signal at Abba and preach, but then from my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to Bobby Lee's joke about how he like violently raped a 13-year-old girl, Ethan's like, well, it was just a joke. And it's like, well, okay. I don't know, not quite sure where, and maybe I misremember that. But it's like, I don't know. Where's your moral compass at? Like, you'd think if you were claiming this guy was like some kind of a sexually assaulting people, I mean, why would you be supporting him in any capacity, right?
Is kind of because of Ethan. Like, obviously it's mostly because the vlog squad was just doing a bunch of stupid shit, but Ethan's the one that first started digging into it and trying to expose David, and that's why I don't think he cares much about this Jason stuff, because he's really doing it to just try to get to David.
I think that more than anything else, it's just not hot topic information, and so Ethan's audience probably doesn't care that much, or they don't care. Like, I guess you could say I don't care either. I'm just saying, like, they don't really care, and Ethan realizes he doesn't really care anymore, so he can get away with it.
But I'd say David getting canceled is kind of what led to him deciding to leave YouTube and go to Snapchat, which is what led to Jason having to do TikTok live streams every day. And now the person that canceled him is his biggest donor on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting turn of events here. Maybe Ethan's trying to compensate him for canceling him. No, I think he's probably just trying to get Jason to turn on David now.
I don't know if it's that deep, but
which I feel like could happen at some point.
But maybe
I know
you're right.
Jason's usually like, I owe David everything. If it weren't for him, I'd have none of this.
I bet he's already shown like his resentment. So,
which definitely is true. But I'd imagine he's starting to feel some resentment towards David, just with the whole podcast thing and him not wanting to continue that. Like, knowing how much it means to Jason and how he could really use the money. Like, just as a good friend of Jason's, you would have thought David would be like, yeah, I could work once
Ethan hates David more than anyone else in the pack. Oh, maybe that is what it is. Maybe he is trying to get to him.
a week for an hour. It's not a big deal. And it's not like it's charity work for him. I mean, they would have made $10 million, but I guess David just didn't think it was worth it, and he has better things to do. But he recently showed up at Jason's house, basically to just laugh in his face about it.
Dude, you're kind of becoming a legend on TikTok now.
I know.
Check this out.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, but I think it's fun.
Not in a
What do
good
you think
way.
about that?
I've seen TikToks with like take a shot every time Jason Nash is on live.
Take a
And
shot.
Jason has to be thinking,
Take
what
a
has my
shit.
life come to? But maybe you get some other failed
Yeah, David is kind of being an asshole there. So,
comedians to join him on there. No, unfortunately, I think even Brendan Schaub has too much self-respect for that.
Damn.
But maybe Bert Kreischer, if things ever fall apart for him, I think you'd have fun with it. And him and Jason are kind of friends. He could like drink every time someone donates a galaxy or something.
Yeah,
I think Jason
okay.
should pitch this to him. He might be interested, but we'll see what happens. I think Jason said he's working on a TV show right now, so hopefully he gets something going there. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think about it all down in the comments. And then make sure you check out my Patreon account if you want extra content from me. Like if you want to hear about Michael Richards, Kramer's infamous meltdown at the Laugh Factory, or if you want to hear about the
I just want to hear him say the N-word.
degeneracy of Ari Shaffir,
I didn't say
or
that.
the worst apology of all time, make sure you go check it out. I'll put a link in the description. And then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.
All right, cool beans, man.